Koron muorengi pangari ngopan. Ngari pakano motono. Koron muorengi pangari ngopan. Ngari pakano motono. Koron muorengi pangari ngopan.
To the Honourable Premier, by the Privy Seal of Her Majesty King William IV, the native descendants assert their right to occupy and enjoy the lands actually occupied or enjoyed on the 19th of February 1836 by the original inhabitants, of whom they are the descendants. We wait for the Honourable Premier to enforce this letter. We also acknowledge that we've been recognised in the letters patent since 1836.
Yeah, mate, want to come on?
I'd like to do more about it.
Well, I think it's to make people aware of our rights that's been denied for the last 177 years in South Australia. Eh? I think it's very important that we get the message out and that people become more aware of it. One of those, just roll off the ropes and come back.
In 1836, it was King William IV's intention that the letters patent be adhered to, that the Aboriginal, what he called natives in that particular document, that their rights should be looked after as well as their descendants, and that hasn't transpired here today. We have no designated seats for Aboriginal people in Parliament. There is an Aboriginal flag flying on top of Parliament, but it's just a symbolic gesture. Enough is enough, denial no more. They should adhere to the letters patent and they should acknowledge our rights.
This is the truth of the proclamation. Understand it, please. I support the letter patent and they must honour it. If they don't honour the letter patent, well, I don't know what's going on.
And look what they've done. They've done one thing they said they would do. They said they'd take our land, and that's what they have done over all the successive governments. And that's what it's all about. It's about a land grab. It's about the greedy. It's not about the needy.
More and more people getting involved. Not only Aboriginal people, but we hope that the mainstream South Australia begin to understand the history of South Australia and the continued injustice for Aboriginal people. So here today we're making a demand on the government to enact the letters patent, something that they have failed to do for 176 years.
Can't take that, sir.
Can't take it?
No.
What about you?
You know, you'd be right.
You refuse to take it.
Before white people landed in South Australia, we didn't have a stolen generation. We didn't have an high incarceration rate. We didn't have an high death rate.
General members of the public would have any understanding at all that the letters patent provided for the prior rights of Aboriginal people. What's very significant about today is that South Australia, through the Premier, the Governor, the President of the Legislative Council, I think it's on that side, and the Speaker of the House of Assembly, have been put on notice by Aboriginal people as the native descendants. No more. Enough is enough. The letters patent need to be upheld and implemented, and no longer will Aboriginal people just sit back and accept it.
And under the letters patent, there was protection for Aboriginal rights. There was a negotiation that Aboriginal people could have, and that access to land was not denied to Aboriginal people. We have been recognised since 1836 in South Australia, and we don't need to be recognised in the current constitution that the Premier is planning to implement and put us in the preamble. It gives us nothing but tokenistic rhetoric.
Ngari pakano motono. Koron muorengi pangari ngopan. Ngari pakano motono. Koron muorengi pangari ngopan.
It was only 40 years ago, 47 years ago, that they decided to recognise us as human beings. We stopped being flora and fauna. We know we are the sovereign people of this land. The letters patent, at least the king recognised that after the destruction of the East Coast. It's taken all this time, and now, 2013, they've decided that we can be included in the Constitution. But before we get into the Constitution, we must settle this business here about the letters patent. First things first, Weatherall, and to all the South Australian politicians, before we talk about the Constitution, let's talk about our sovereign rights, and let's talk about this one here, the letters patent, the patents that gave us the rights, and yet this government, consecutive governments since 1836, have been denying us our own rights as sovereign people, as Aboriginal people of this country, also as the first Australians.
We need to spread the word about this and actually start peeling back the layers of unknown or lies or whatever you want to call them, like, because it's really important that people know about this so we can all live like, you know, some more social justice happens and we can all live in harmony and get along with, like, yeah, being happy people. So
we're going to keep fighting. We haven't given up yet. We've been saying all through this document is about the denial of Aboriginal rights in South Australia. So to see a mother bringing her 5 children down here on an holiday today to educate them and also to fight for them is, I think, fantastic. Projecting the images of the letters patent upon Parliament House. Have you ever heard of the letters patent?
Never in my life, and you know, I've always studied South Australian history at school. Consider myself, you know, up on these things, and no, never in my life.
And I've just sort of had a quick discussion with you about some of the content in there. What do you think about that, about the original intentions of the letters patent in regards to Aboriginal people in South Australia?
Well, you blew me away when you told me about that, and it actually made me feel great that people that far back in history had that sort of awareness and had that sort of recognition of the Aboriginal culture. Sad that it hasn't been fulfilled, but I think there's a real chance to let people know about this, because I think once people know that it's already written, it's already in law, that a lot of people will sort of kick up a bit of a stink about it. I know I will. You've opened my mind tonight, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you, Sammy, and I hope that you go ahead and you talk to your friends about this.
Definitely.
And we can have a better Australian for all, better South Australia for all South Australia.
That's a dream. That's a dream. Thank you, Steve.
Today's event, I think, it's been a long time coming. The event itself is about the rights of Aboriginal people, Aboriginal tribes through South Australia. The type of rights that we had, that was written down in the letters patent. When you're looking at that, you're looking at people that took that right away from us. The government of this country took that right away.
In every South Australian school, you'd think that the letters patent, being the founding document of South Australia, should be there.
But not only that, we should take this document and confront the Queen and say, your relative, this is his signature, he promised this to us, and yet you let the Australian government in South Australia get away with it. Whichever way you look at it, this country was stolen from us. Our rights of the traditional owners of these lands has been denied by people that came to this country. And really what they done was they ignored the word of the king who signed that.
So they disobeyed their own laws.
They disobeyed the Westminster system.
The king,
their
crown law,
But back then they done that, and ever since it's been just going on, and they've been hiding it.
Yep.
Everyone knew about it, and yet they hid it. They hid it from us.
They've
But
hid it from the rest
like
of South
everything else,
Australia as well.
we're tired of it. It's time now to stand up for our rights as Aboriginal people
And
in this state.
Make the government accountable.
Accountable.
Yep,
Yeah.
very much. Unfinished business.
Unfinished business. There's a lot of unfinished business in this country.
So you think we should go ahead with this constitutional stuff, or should we settle this first?
We settle this first. Come and stand up for our rights in this country. Come and be a part of it. Stand up for the rights of children that's not even born yet. That's going to be for the next couple of thousand years in the future. Make sure that they've got their rights, and that rights continue. Like the letters patent say, the descendants. We are all descendants of them people, the original people of this country. And our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, they're all descendants. So we're standing up for their rights too. Not just our rights here as people today, but people in the future.
I think many non-Aboriginal people in this state have been misled by the successive governments since 1836 right up into this present day, that the letters patent is there and it should be enacted, and they've kept it a secret, and they've created a great big lie, and they've constructed South Australia on a lie.
All the tribes in South Australia, we have to get them to one point and talk about the letters patent.